Everyone, welcome to FMA Talk Live. I'm your host, Datu Tim. I don't know where my co-host is at the moment. I'm at my four-legged ones here, and I chatted with PG Ty earlier. Should be on here, so we'll see when he gets here. So, how's everyone doing? I had a great weekend. Oh, and that's people are watching this. I had a great weekend over at the Martial Arts Symposium in New Hampshire. Brand new location. This was in Water Valley, New Hampshire. It's about an hour and 10, 20 minutes north of its previous location. Great weekend. I had a lot of top-notch guys and girls there. The participants are very open-minded and welcoming. Hey, Danny, how are you doing? And then we have Joe, another person had a great time. They share some footage with me, which I appreciated. Part of my demo. Still trying to find the whole demo that hasn't come about. Mr. Guida, he is in Nevada at the moment. I'm going to miss him this week in class. Boom. So, and Rich Parsons. Datu Tim Hartman. Hey, Rich, how'd you like to be on the show tonight? I might need somebody here. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You missed me, yes. I had problems. So for those who don't know, I'm dealing with a heel spur issue. And I'm having treatment done to it, which really is a wonderful thing. Unfortunately, with this wonderful thing, unfortunately, with my heel spur, is being treated, but I cannot do anything about it. Hold on one second. So whoever Facebook user is, it's not telling me who you are here. So if you can tell me who you are, but thank you. Good morning. I'm assuming they're maybe from the Philippines or something. So I was looking at getting surgery, and my doctor has given me a non-surgical option. So it's an ultrasound type thing, hammers at my heel, which is a wonderful sensation. Not really. Actually, the heel part was fine, but then he moves up to the Achilles tendon where I'm having a bulge. That is the most excruciating pain I've ever felt. But in January, we were in a car accident, totaled the car, and unfortunately, it hit where I was driving the vehicle. A guy blew through a red light. It hit me. So my left knee is all jacked up now. With everything going on, and just I can't, with this treatment for the heel spur, I'm not allowed to take anti-inflammatory medicine. I can't ice the foot. I can't do anything to my right leg, but my left leg is also all puffy, so I can't. Once again, I can't take stuff. I can ice that leg though. And then Daryl, hello from Mississauga, not too far away from here. So 8-hour drive up there. I was walking around really bad. I was so bad that Bill Wallace, who walks, he's gone through 4 hip replacements, and obviously he's not going to walk normal. He jokes about it all the time. He was making fun of the way I walked, and I took it with stride, did a demo, sucked it up. Actually, it was a really good demo. At least that's what everyone tells me. And I drove home. The drive home wasn't as bad, but it's still killing me here. No, I can't. No, for 10 weeks. So with the thing here is with the treatment on the heel spur, what it does is it stimulates the tendons, and if you do any you can't ice the foot. You cannot You cannot take any inflammatory stuff for it. Nothing is because it wants that natural healing going on, and anything else is going to slow it down or get in the way. So, boom. I have both knees replaced, so I understand. Okay, there you go. Yes, Bill has had 4 hip replacements. Actually, he I see the next coming up. He was the one that gave PG Ty the recommendations on his hip replacement. So, and yes, sheesh. And then, yep, you were limp along, Tim. It was bad. I mean, it was really, really, really bad. I gotta do this here. Let me just do this right here. Someone got a weird call from a number that looks like one of mine, so I just need to find out what's going on there. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be good. Give me one moment because I'm going to bring somebody in the show. I've always got a backup plan. Always got a backup plan. Let me go on here. Maybe I can do it direct. Sometimes it lets me do this. Sometimes it doesn't. And this actually, the person I'm going to bring on has traveled with us. It goes with today's show, so it really works out very well. All right, Rich, check your inbox. Should have sent a Facebook Messenger. If it didn't show up, just give me a holler. Yeah, everyone was asking. Brent thought I was making fun of him. Like, no, dude, I'm messed up. Hey, Steve, good to have you on here. Sorry to hear pain. Yeah, you know what? It didn't stop me from doing what I needed to do, and that's all that mattered. Let me see here. Huh. Let me look at something really quick here. Here, I'm gonna bring Rich on. Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
Master Rich Parsons, a good friend of mine. He has traveled so far with us. I've gone to the Philippines. Whoever Facebook user is, nice. Hello. We've gone through about this tonight's show is going to be about traveling safer. Now, I want to talk about this right now. Don't think that we are the experts on this. We've had a lot of experience. We probably had more experience than most, but at the end of the day, this is a guideline, and depending on what you're traveling, where you're traveling to, and what you're traveling with, you still might want to check everything. I'm going to give you some stuff that I've had issues with. And good evening, Rich. Let me. I want to. Hey, you know what? I'm going to get Janice on the phone because I got to talk to her here.
Yes.
But I'm going to mute me. Why don't you talk about real quick about the benefit you were just part of recently for a member of one of our fallen brethren of the Modern East community?
Very good. So one of the Michigan FMA community members, Ena Carlton, passed away earlier this year from cancer. So we went out and talked to the family, and they agreed. So we did a benefit seminar. 4 instructors, one of the hosts, one of Enoch's student, Mike, hosted it, put it together. We put a bunch of money into the family's hands. People came together. We supported and helped the family. So reaching out and helping each other is one of the things I like to do. I've done a bunch of other benefit seminars over the last 25 years. So the things that I like to participate with are things that help people. So everything that came through the door went straight to the family. So the host school, TNT Martial Arts, they provided the place and the facility. All the instructors gave their time for free. everybody that came through the door donated money. The hosts gave us very nice frames and gifts. So it was a well-received event for an unfortunate situation. So one of the things that I like to see is multiple people, multiple organizations, styles, martial arts coming together to see if we can help people. And I think we did quite well. So I want to say thank you to the community in general. And when possible, do it yourself, reach out and help people. Ty, I can go home now.
No, you should stay, definitely. Sorry, everyone. One of those days.
All good.
You guys did you just rant or did you already?
I just did a quick summary of the benefit seminar to help Ena Carlton's family.
No rant. Me just whining like a little baby about my foot. Tim Richardson says, hello, Datu Tim. Get better, my brother. And he's got some foot issues, so he knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And then, hey, Ty from Danny Terrell. So we were talking about, didn't have a, well, you know what? I'm going to have a rant, but we were talking about this weekend's event. And I'm going to tell you something. Okay, so I was Hopalong Hartman. Okay, I get it. Okay. Here's what I got to do. I went upstairs. There's a 2-floor thing. I went upstairs. One of the sessions, we were overloaded with instructors, and I decided to donate my time to one of our West Coast brethren. Sir Jason Ena flew all the way from California to be at the event. And on more than one occasion, we gave him some extra spots because we are the hosts. We're the host side of the state or the country, so we want to make sure things are all good. And like I said, there was no need. We just, there's a scheduling issue. So I backed out. I went upstairs. So Bill Wallace was teaching. And we love Bill. We absolutely love Bill. So he was working with Dave Kovar. Dave Kovar is one of the most known business consultants out there in the martial art industry. But the coolest thing about him, and I've always given him props, and it's actually how we met. I went up and talked to him to start the whole thing. Was my opening line. It wasn't opening line, but my opening statement was like, sir, I really have a lot of respect for you because in addition to doing all this stuff for the industry, you're actually on the mats working out all the time. And that's like his main focus. He's got a team. He's groomed them to be very good. He still is part of that, but he also takes a lot of point of physical fitness and exercise and training. And he flew back from Japan to make the event. And so Bill's working with him and he's teaching the class and, Dave's odd man out. So I can't move, but I could stand. I reached into my stick bag, pulled up my focus mitts, and I ended up padding for Dave Kovar. Well, what happened next? A lot of times Bill kept coming over to show him stuff, and he's a wise Alec, if you didn't know him. But what also happened was he started working with me. That 77-year-old guy has got a hook punch like you would not believe. And he hit me. He threw a jab at my face, and I just felt all the air. But the cool thing was, the really, really cool thing was, I had a little misty-eyed moment because it reminded me of working with Remy. It was like, oh, and it had nothing to do with Remy. But it was like, the back in the days. Except Bill was nice to me. Remy would have slapped me around. Bill may have bipped off at me a little, but actually he was good with me. Bill has got phenomenal finesse and control. He does all the techniques. He protects me as the holder, makes sure that he wasn't going to do anything that was going to make it, to jeopardize my safety. He takes his hook punch, he turns it in ridge hand, so it's okay for karate tournaments and goes back and forth. 77, oh my God, he would knock me on my ass. Just saying. So that was the and thank you, Joe. My walking stick was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I used it so much I think it did something to my shoulder. Oh, gents and Tim, how are you? How are you this evening? Yeah, doing great. Renee and I are going to be on a show, FMA Discussion. You guys may have heard of that place. I don't know. Dean Franco used to work there. But we're going to do an episode on everyday carries as far as which we think the best one. They're doing one right now that people are talking about their favorites. I actually don't know if it's tonight. Tonight is the Medusa program. You look at people and they turn to stone. Actually, I think it's like the Piper system or something like that, whatever. And then they're doing favorite or the different everyday carries. And then we're going to go over what we think is the best everyday carries, what types. We're going to be talking. The biggest discussion is going to be between edge and impact weapons. And we'll talk about different needs because it's not a black and white answer because, an everyday carry for me is different than an officer, than it's different from somebody else. Details for the benefit seminar for Ena Carlton TNT, Romeo, Michigan. Host Mike Shannon, instructors Bill Barker, GM Jay Spiro's instructor, Dr. Honorary Howard, and myself. 40 people on the floor. Who's that?
That was for the.
No. I mean, whom is sharing?
I sent that. Sorry.
Oh, you sent that. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
it just comes up Facebook user. So, depending on which one you're looking at, I don't know, well, you should be able to. Hey, Rich, if you hit the 3 buttons on you could actually put a hashtag or a website down there beneath, like we have.
Okay.
Just FYI. Let me see here. So I mean that was a nostalgic moment for me. I really think. What did you think of the event, Ty?
The one this last weekend.
Yes.
Okay, because you were talking about that. Yeah. No, I thought it turned out really, really well. It was really cool to have Jason there. That was a nice. Yeah. I mean, it's just been too long since I've seen him, but I thought that we meshed really well together. We covered a lot of ground, and I heard lots of good feedback from everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. And then Frank Schakowsky says, hello, Frank. Yeah, I had a blast. And Steve LaFave doesn't normally get to spend time with us, and he did this time. Yeah. So that was really cool. So I think it was just firing on all cylinders. I think it was a really good weekend. I mean, there was some moving pains. So the problem was, like, at the last minute, the venue changed. Well, I don't want to say last. It was like December. So Terry's been using this place for years, and all of a sudden they call up and they say, we're closing. Oh, great. So this is like an hour, 15 minutes north of him. So not the norm.
Well, and for an event like this, that is pretty much last minute. Just, a few months ahead of time, that's hardly any time to fix things.
React.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he did a phenomenal job, and most likely we're going back. They already talked about things. So I get to hear some inside stuff. Not inside stuff. I get the VIP pass, so I get to go hang out with him and other times here. And hey, Sam. So I was there during a discussion. We were talking about next year under contract, the restaurants, the businesses in the little town, we're going to have to be open now for us so they can handle us for the lunchtime and stuff like that. Okay, here we go. Watch my interview with Jason and I on Marshall airing in the near future. Okay, well, Joe, definitely let us know when you're going to do that. We'll plug that on the show and let people know what's going on. So
and the people at the venue loved having us there. You can tell.
Oh yeah. He goes, we're going to sell out the banquet at 160 people.
Right.
Sure you are. Guess what? He sold out the banquet at 160. We probably could have had. I mean, I heard that we had 200 people in attendance.
Wow.
So yeah. Next year is the 20th anniversary, to my knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, so that should be a cool thing. So, all right, I'm gonna give a little mini rant, and then we want to get into our topic today, because actually our topic isn't going to take that long, I don't think. But here's what annoys the hell out of me. And it happened this weekend at the venue by somebody, an FMA guy, no doubt, nonetheless, which which really annoys the hell out of me. So we're doing drills and techniques, and people are doing drills, and people are trying to break the drills. Well, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Well, thank God you got the brains not to do that. Great. But the thing here is a drill is not about fighting. A drill is about building coordination. I mean, drills build skills. There we go. So a lot of times I'll be doing some knife drills, and it's about working the entry, not the follow-up. And people say, oh, why don't you just countercut? Well, why would you countercut? I'm feeding a person an attack so they can respond. So let's think about this. If you feed someone the angles of attack so they can do their block and counters, okay, if I'm doing that, I'm going to go 1 through 12 because that's how many numbers I have. Maybe I'm 1 through 5 because I'm Cinco Terros. Maybe I can't count past 2, so it's just 1s and 2s. I don't know, whatever. But if I just feed you a forehand backhand so you can block a shot and counter, why would I at the last minute counter your counter and hit you when it's your turn to practice?
Right.
Okay, so that's it. So when I see people sitting there, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Why don't we take a bigger look and see what is the drill, the skill set? And the problem here is the person that did it this weekend is not related to us whatsoever. Okay? Not one of our friends. Not an enemy either. Not an enemy. But I have friends, but I'm talking, there's people we all know and people who watch the show who we know that are influencers and leaders in the industry that do that. And I'm like, and it's very hard to say to my friends, are you a freaking moron? Do you really know what you're talking about? You're supposed to be some master level, this, that, and the other thing, and you don't understand the purpose of a drill? Come on. Now there's the whole thing, like let's use Sobrata drill. You do the flow, but you know what I like doing in Sobrata drill? I like putting disarms in there. But we talk about that ahead of time and have that dialogue because now I get to work the flow of Sobrata drill as well as doing disarms under pressure. When the arm is not going to be there and the person's going to be less compliant than me just feeding, wait for it, go back to the beginning, angle 1 and 2.
Yep.
So if you see a drill and you say, well, I could do this, you know what? There is hope for you because you can actually see opportunities to do your techniques, but that's part of what the drills are supposed to do in the first place, show you those openings for things. But really, as I did my demo, I talked about, I did the groupings. I did modified version of groupings, and we did this thing from a chair. Then I showed how it was supposed to be done because Remy had gout, and I stand up and do it. I go, but I made sure. So when we're doing tappy, when you're doing Balintawak, Seguidis and Credis, actually no, Abecedario and Seguidis, Abecedario and Seguidis specifically, or you do the grouping methodology that the grouping methodology of Balintawak people do. It's a feeder and receiver. It's no different than holding pads for somebody. And every now and then I hit you back, not so I'm working my counters, so I'm keeping your guard up. So one side coaches the other side. And if your instructors weren't able to teach you that, well, maybe you should go back to the drawing board or get a new teacher. Okay, that's my rant. But the sad thing is some of these guys are mid to high level instructors in FMA organizations, and they do that all the time. And I'm like, and it's hard for me to bite my tongue. No one that's been on this show that I know, no one that's been on our show. So everyone who's been on our show, we haven't had those situations. Now they might be like that, I don't know, but no one who's been on this show so far has fallen down that path. So Rich, you get a pass.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say, it's good to to deconstruct a drill and try to break it as part of what you're doing, but it's different. So anybody can break a drill, right? Mm-hmm. The point is, what can you learn from it? So I will say that all the time. I mean, it's one thing to see, hey, there's some holes and things like that. Hey, but to criticize the drill from a fighting point of view, that's crazy.
Well, we don't fight with drills.
Right. Exactly.
Like doing wind sprints. You're not going to do wind sprint in the race. The wind sprints get you to be better in the race. Mm-hmm. But, listen, and I love looking at a drill and seeing where there's opportunities for me to do things, but I don't fault the drill, and I don't sit there, why aren't you countering this? I go, oh, okay, I look to see what the drill is trying to build from my eyes, and then I'll talk to the person who taught me the drill and ask them what they think or what their point is. Because, we could be working multiple things, and I might see the drill from a different viewpoint. So the benefit I get out of it mentally is different than maybe you, Ty. And you say, well, I never thought of it. And that's why I want to have a dialogue. I'm like, hey, you know what I look at all this stuff. And they might go, I never thought of that. My teacher told me this, but hey, that's a good way to look at the twos, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Hate at seminars when you get the FMA version of Mad TV Stewards.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, can I do? Yeah. So, and listen, that's in all martial arts. I've probably been guilty of that myself. Okay, when I was younger, didn't know better. But what I would recommend, if anyone sees a drill and you have this knee-jerk reaction to say, well, why don't you do this, that, and anything? Maybe before you ask them that, you should say, why are you doing what you're doing? So you understand their use for the drill. And then maybe later you might go something, like personally, for me, Sinwalis it's a striking drill. Now, I have done it as a feed so I can work blocks. So what I'll do is they'll have double stick, I'll do single stick, and I'll put some blocks in, but it's very hard because they're still not swinging the right range for me. But I work things in there. But it's the what will never work that is sad. Okay. And then there's Craig. So Craig was at my house this morning. He left around 7:30 to go up north. Craig. Okay, so there was a tragedy in the person who makes our sticks. A family member passed. We may not have them for camp, our padded sticks. So I'm just going to that's it. So not my place to say who that is. Okay. But I got some new things. Actually, let me I put up on my Instagram. Actually, I put it up everywhere. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be a problem, Craig. Let me pull up one thing. So I got something that was waiting for me when I got home. Okay, I know where they are. Okay. Oh, you know what? It didn't go there. It went elsewhere. I got to IG. IG. Instagram. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. These just came in today. Boom. So, Clanton Combatives sent me 4 rubber hammers and 2 screwdrivers, and they've got a fiberglass shaft in there to keep them rigid. The hammers, not the screwdrivers. You don't want that. Really good feel. We used them in class tonight. Very happy with them. And I got some other gear that we're going to be talking about, but not today. Oh, look at that new configuration. There we go. The Triumvirate. And hello, Darren.
There you go.
And here we go. I really enjoyed the diversity of the instructors and the arts. Yes, we had it was a really good thing. So let's get back into this here. Oh, look at that. Okay. So tonight's top. Okay. So actually, next week's topic, because I don't have one. Actually, I figured out already. What I want to talk about is we're going to do a bunch of seminar announcements next week and talking about the logistics of, wait for it, hosting events.
Nice.
Hosting and advertising. So it's about event promotion. So we're actually going to be sharing a list of events as well as some do's and don'ts when you're doing so, or some things to think about. And with my camp in 2 weeks, this is why I want to keep it fresh in my head to remind me of all these things. Here we go. Volpus Training. Oh yeah, they've been on the show on multiple times. Bought new blades, makes amazing details or designs. Yes, and he does cool stuff. He does factual as well as fantasy stuff
Yeah.
on demand. So it's really cool. My 3-year-old grandson has a hammer and screwdriver set like that. Also, yep. Yeah, I wanted to make sure it wasn't one that went beep 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 beep. It chirped every time you hit somebody with it. So he actually does, he's got a whole line of firearms. I think he casts them all himself. Really nice trainer. I don't know about the rest of this stuff, but the hammer's great. The hammers and the screwdriver are great. And it's a quasi, most likely it is a Phillips head, but it just comes down and rounded and, but really liked it. And I'm looking forward to getting more. I used it tonight and looking forward to getting more reps in that, So I get this question all the time. I get it during the show. And sometimes okay, rodent. So sometimes when we get on the show, people will reach out to me, and I'm like, why are you doing this when I'm on the show? But they may or may not know I'm on the show, or it might just pop in their head. And unfortunately, when I see Facebook message come in, I feel it's like a phone call where I got to answer it. I cannot just leave it be, because if I leave it be, a lot of times I don't get back to it. So I know my weaknesses. So, and matter of fact, I got to get your message because we're going to talk about something. Let me bring it up here. So first of all, let me tell you something. Never say never. So here's the never say never. When someone says you can't get a pair of sticks on the airplane,
right?
That's tied. Now that was 2015. Things have changed a little.
Yep.
But you'll see. And he also got a bottle. Well, he probably paid for the bottle of water inside the airport. But here's a pair of rattan sticks.
24 inches.
Okay, so this is all you. So I'm going to take this down, and you tell us exactly. And I know you've changed your viewpoint a little on this since then, but by all means, share your story.
Yeah, I was traveling down there for an event, and I didn't want to check any bags, which is the other way, which we'll talk about later. But I did some looking at the TSA website, and you could take, things up to 24 inches long, sticks, things like that. So when I went through TSA, I had all that information. I had the fact that they were training sticks. They had Batman grip tape on them, so they looked more silly, right? And I said, I borrowed my wife's training sticks so I can do this event. And I told them, exactly all that. What I didn't say was that they're the same sticks I might use for anything else. But it was pretty cool. It was, I had to talk to the manager and got through that way because I was prepared. And then on the way back, I decided, let's not lose my wife's sticks, and decided to check them by themselves. So I taped them together and had them labeled, and they shipped just fine. So two lessons there, but I tell you what, it was really cool walking through the airport with my weapons with me. So that was pretty fun. I felt like I was on Kill Bill or something.
Except you weren't wearing the banana yellow outfit,
right?
Which was Bruce Lee's Under the Dragon outfit, just for the record. Okay, Let It Be was the song. Yeah, okay, and Parsons, nice background. That's what Rodent says. But you can take that up personally with Rodent. I've seen tennis rackets, pool sticks on a plane. I've seen full-size umbrellas like shortly after September 11th.
Yep.
Never say never. Yep. Prior to 9/11, I took sticks and folders, often flying. That changed. Yeah, that definitely changed many things. I would rather lose my wife than my sticks. And I want Batman sticks. Now I want Batman sticks.
Yeah.
Well, you just got to get the proper tape.
Yeah, you can get that. It was right off of Amazon.
You can have Batman sticks.
I think it was Batman hockey tape or Batman something tape right off of Amazon.
There you go. Oh, there we go. Gave it the plug. Yeah. Okay. So, obviously, things have completely changed September 11th. I'm going to make a comment that will. Well, I was talking to Apollo Ladra, and he'd bringing all these things back from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and he sees, I was at a trade show, and he's like, where did you get all this stuff from? I go, the Philippines. Oh, how'd you bring it over? I brought it back myself. I'm like, how'd you do that when I was there? They wouldn't let me get anything through. Like, well, I'm not Filipino. So now listen, now everyone will sit there. Actually, I said a racist, well, not a racist comment. I said a point blank comment. I'm a white man. Okay. We know there's racial profiling. But what I do is I make sure I'm wearing my turtleneck when I come back, and it's usually in the winter-ish, and I will put my cross on. The cross that when I wear, a lot of people will ask me, where do I preach? like right here. You guys get a sermon every Monday night.
Yeah.
Amen. But yeah, I mean, so I brought my Cane Masters on a plane, and they looked at it. And this is when Cane Master originally had the yin yang logo with a pair of cross sticks. I was coming back from Sweden. The guy goes, Cane Master. Oh, this is a nice cane. They've since then have gotten rid of all that. No logos on it. But some of their canes, they're too sharp. I mean, they literally have you will puncture somebody. What if you taped plunger tops to the tops of all? Okay, you can tell them you're Mario. There we go. Oh, privileged. Yeah, well, you know what it is. Father Hartman confessional booth. That would be crazy. That would be like really crazy. I'm not going to tell them to do Hail Marys either.
Right.
Listen, you dumbass. Do amen. Preach on the mountain. Dress up as Tiny Tim and use him as little crutches. I have a puncture point. Yep, exactly. I knew you did. And scary. All right, yeah. Okay.
The other thing I thought is make them part of like a folding bag, a canvas bag, and make them the handles.
There you go.
Probably rolls up real nice, and you pull them out and use them and put them back in.
Now, listen, everybody. And I'm not going to tell you what to carry. Now, now Volpus has a trainer that they use that looks similar to somebody else's, and I'm not going to mention what it looks like. Because I don't want people carrying these things on.
Right.
You should not carry anything on that looks like a weapon. And I'll tell you, okay, so people have tried to say the stingers out there, like James Keating has some stuff. Kelly Warden has some stuff. Guys, do not carry that stuff on a plane. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to get somebody who has no clue what they're talking about. They're going to raise a stink, and what's going to happen? They're going to get that classified as something that cannot be brought on a plane. You know, let me see here.
Like those Dulo I brought.
Yeah.
I once had a 3-inch pocket knife somehow get through carry-on, and I've had something like this. Worked in a seminar in Devonshire, gave the knife to a person, and the highest kick was going on. Okay. Luck, TSA 1 step, and then above mall security. Listen, so first of all, so I was flying, and I was up in Canada, and a guy who works there is a martial artist and recognized me. Hey, Datu. I'm like, and I'm like, okay, I knew him, but I didn't know him. It kind of really freaked me out. And hello, guys. So, what I do, so I carry a tactical pen, a Smith & Wesson tactical pen. Mine's blue at the moment. I carry a Pelican flashlight. Okay. That's it. I'll pack my knife in my bag, my check-on bag. But I don't carry things on. And the thing with the pen and the flash, a lot of times they're stuck in my backpack in the pen holders, because you know there's usually some spot in the backpack for you to put things. But the TS agent that was at a seminar and I pulled out my pen. He goes, "Oh, I would have never let that on a plane." I'm like, and in the seminar, I'm like, "Why wouldn't you?" "Well, that's a weapon." I go, "What if I pull out a basic steel metal pen,
Right.
a steel barrel pen?" "Well, that'd be fine." What's the difference?
Right.
You're telling me that neither one of these only one can hurt you?
That one's looks like it's tactical. Come on.
But that's it. And so, like my flashlight, the flashlight I carry it's a Pelican. It is designed for the film, the photography and film industry.
Yep.
That's the company. You know, it has no DNA collectors on it, nothing along those lines. It's a black flashlight. That's it. I don't want anyone looking at my stuff thinking I've got this tactical stuff, because then they'll start going through shit, and who knows what they're gonna do. You know. So, how about you, Rich? What have you brought on a plane?
Oh,
What do you normally bring on a plane, I should say?
I like big pens.
There you go.
They're soft, they're flexible. You can thumb reinforce, get two things. That being said, on the plane, yes, but checked on the plane.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
You did mention flashlights, right?
Yes.
Sorry, I was doing a bunch of things at once, but yeah, that's what I bring every day.
Now, I don't carry a flashlight to protect myself. I don't carry my tactical pen to protect myself. Hey, my knife that's in my pocket. Well, I don't have a knife in my pocket at the moment, but the knife that I carry, I don't take that to protect myself. Okay, here's where my EDC. This is it right here. My everyday carry is this. There we go. You can't get rid of. I mean, you can take them off, but I'd have to take the lightsaber to do it and cut it off.
That's right.
You know, the FMA industry drives me crazy. I'm like, but you're a Filipino martial artist. Exactly. My own people drive me crazy. I see everybody wanting to be John Wick and doing these covert draws. And if I was 20 years younger, I'd be doing the same stupid shit. Okay. That's what happens when you get old. You actually get a brain cell or two to function after all this sticks to the head. You know, my mindset is if someone goes to draw for something, I'm going for them. Because if I have to counter draw, I'm not going towards the opponent. I'm going towards me. I need to go after the person. Now, if they're drawing a firearm and I'm too far away, I'm looking for cover. But if I'm within arm's reach, the war system, I didn't create war. Someone else did a long time ago, but I like it. If you're within arm's reach, my mindset is to go for the person. Because as this Filipino martial artist, I was taught how to use my hands and feet. And I know some there's arts out there that have no clue on how to use open hand combatives. So them or their people go to boxing, kickboxing, Jeet Kune Do, fill in the blanks to learn how to open Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, learn all these open hand stuff because their systems don't have it in there. But that's on them. Oh man, empty hand combat. And Danny knows about it. If anyone around here knows about open hand combatives, it's Danny. Okay. When I draw, it's a cartoon character. Oh, that was a good one. I like that one. Munyo dragon picture on the plane all the time. Never mentioned. Okay. So after before September 11th, I didn't think of anything because we didn't have this stuff. You know, if I was been on the plane, who knows if I would have been on one of those planes, there's a good chance I wouldn't be here like everyone else there because we don't think of these things and we're panicked. Oh, walang anumang. Hey, wow. Brother.
Hey,
Miguel, we got to talk about a couple things. Like the Yao Yan camp we're going to try to pull off on the East Coast here. So when I go on a plane now after September 11th, I look at the overhead compartments. I see there's plenty of flashlights. There's, your seat is a flotation device. It's also a good shield or a ram. There's plenty of things. I could take magazines and put them in my sleeve in case some person got an edged weapon on, But at the time that all happened, we would all done the same stupid shit. We would have done nothing. We would have all thought that we were going to Cuba. Hey, they're hijacking the plane. We're going to go to Cuba. Okay, fine. Sit down. We'll get through this. No one at the time thought the plane was going to be utilized as a weapon. So since then, I look at things around us that could be used. But the thing here is we're not going to be carrying stuff. And like I said, a flashlight and a pen is a force multiplier. These don't need to be multiplied. They appreciate being multiplied, but they don't need multiplication. And that's this. It's not this. This one does, that's not going to happen. There are many weapons of opportunity all over. Exactly. Using the drink cart as a battering ram. Exactly. Picking up a soda. I mean, if they have cans just from the cart, boom. So there's plenty of things we can go with.
Yep.
So, tuna fish can once, not on a plane, but just.
Yeah. So, let's do something here. Ty, take point for a moment because I'm going to pull up some pictures.
Good. Okay. So the other thing is, so if you're traveling, are you going somewhere to do martial arts, or are you going somewhere just for your own self, right? That would color what you need to try to figure out how to train, or bring, sorry. But I mean, what do we also mention? I like water bottles to grab.
Yeah.
Big clunky thing. Or you already have delivery mechanisms. Presumably, if you're on a plane, you probably, if you're smart, you're carrying at least 1 day of extra clothes because you might get stranded or whatever, or lose your luggage. In which case, right, you can grab a sock and stick anything hard and heavy in it and use that for a couple strikes before it breaks through, right? So it's all about creative. That's one of the things I love about FMA, right? We're trained from the get-go to use whatever. And know how to be comfortable with it. I think you have some good stories along those lines too, Rich, right?
Yeah. Like I said, tuna fish cans,
right?
Random objects. As to traveling, I mean, I've been through Europe, I've been to Japan, I've been to Korea, New Zealand, and of course the Philippines with you guys, through Mexico and the Caribbean. And flying, I check my pocket knife, but I've had it with me in all those countries and never had a problem.
Right. Yeah. Checking is a key, but there's a couple of ways to do that. And we learned a couple of that on the way back from the Philippines. Some really cool, no frills, easy, but helped you get through a lot of weird things. Like if you change countries and you have to change planes, and some of the countries want to do an extra go through, things like that. There's ways to set yourselves up for success, and I think we'll get to that later. That's why I'm holding off on the checked piece.
Right.
Okay. So I'm pulling up some photos. So okay, I'm gonna call white privilege. I guess it's okay if I call it out front. I guess maybe I can get a pass on this.
Is that it?
So no, that's the beginning of it. So this is what Tim brought home. Oh, wait a minute here. That one. We don't want to talk about that guy. Hold on. We don't like this guy anymore. All right. Here we go. So this is what I brought home. They're all there for this trip. This is everything that was in my luggage. Oh, wait a minute. It didn't work. Let me get back there. Hold on. Can you see that, or you see nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't see anything being shared.
Okay, hold on. Share. Okay, and let me get rid of this. Okay, so these are all the things that were in my luggage. Okay.
Right.
That's my bed in Manila. See. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 swords there.
Yep. I have
more. Okay. So That's Tim's luggage.
If you want, I can share a quick thing of what I took back on the same trip in a separate bag.
Sure.
Let's see.
Sure.
How do I do that again? Oh, present.
Do you have a share? Do you have a present button on the bottom for you?
Present button, yeah. So
Yeah, hit that present button.
Okay.
And then it'll ask you what window you want to present.
Okay, share screen.
And then I will share it from there.
All right, so let's see, window. There we go. And it's not full screen in it, but you guys can get an idea. So here it is.
Okay, here we go. Add to stream. Okay.
With my favorite silly buoy, and that is a sharp buoy with a skull head pommel. That's why it's silly, but it felt so good. So There you go. You remember the story.
Yep.
That was half of what I hit back that trip, all in its own bag, and we'll talk about it.
All right, so I'm gonna remove where we're done with that. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So actually, I think you gotta hit finish sharing.
Oh yeah, sorry. There we go.
There we go. Not a problem. I would just showed everybody what's on your.
You kicked me off, and I would have got back on.
No, I would have let you look to see what's going on from all your fans only page. I mean, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Feet.
Feet.
There you go.
Well, that's funny because now I wanted to. The McDojo guy talks about that McDojo life. So I did a foot thing. Okay. All right, let's go back here. Let me see here. We'll go back to here. Oh, throw the crying baby like a football as a distraction.
There you go.
I would just put the kid in the overhead compartment. Slaps, elbows, forearms, hacks, amazing weapons. Yep. Nowadays, everyone has a dog on the plane. You have to worry about that.
I know, it's crazy.
First class has fed me with meals with utensils.
Yep.
iPad as a tri-prison lunch room smack and block. Okay. Yeah. Chopsticks. I might ask you why I have a chopstick in your thing, but okay. Leather belt. Take it off like Chris Rock and Pootie Tang.
There you go, right.
Hey, Pootie Tang was badass. Let me tell you.
Great. Yep, that was great.
Leather purse strap like nunchucks.
Here we go.
Think outside the box. A lot of practitioners talk about being outside the box, but they don't actually do so. A padlock, carabiner, a zip tie, flashlight, wine bottle, corkscrew. Mm-hmm. They're all good. I actually have a very thick brass carabiner on my bag that will double as a. It's not designed to be brass knuckles, but it'll work. Yeah. Let me see. Put boots in your hands and punch. I don't know. Punching boots, is that it? Wow, nice package. Okay.
What was that for? I didn't see the package. I didn't see that was.
I think that he's talking about all the stuff that I had.
Oh, okay.
I didn't show my package. No, he's not looking at my package.
You never know with this group.
Danny, help me out here, brother. Help me out. Renee, hey Ty. Who won the rock paper scissors game?
Well, he was talking about me. That picture from the symposium where Dean and I were playing sort of a touch hands, kind of,
Oh, okay.
Grounding sensitivity stuff. I've done that with Rich a lot. But no, yeah, I cheat. So obviously, I won more than I should have.
Yeah.
You cheat.
More important, what you're saying is Dean lost. Yeah. Dean lost.
No. Actually, I thought good things from everybody.
Okay. Meals on Asian planes, but that doesn't help us when we're not on an Asian plane.
Right.
So you saw all the stuff I did now. So first of all that stuff was checked. Yeah. Now here's something you got to remember. Now this I found out. Now we are not gospel. You need to check. We said this at the beginning of the show. I'm going to say it again. You need to check, and don't do anything we're telling you that we do if you don't feel comfortable about it.
And especially if you're not supposed to do it, right? So you need to check for yourself what you're supposed to do.
Yes, because the thing here is, this is being filmed on April 24th, 2023.
Right.
The rules may change tomorrow. I mean, listen, we've all went through COVID, all right, and every day there was a new rule. You know, it's like, we're getting ready to open up. They threw 5 more rules in here that wasn't before. Wait a minute. Martial arts schools wasn't in this category before. It is now. Okay. Well, what do you mean we got to do all this stuff?
Right.
You know, it kept changing on a day-to-day basis.
And if you're rich, of course, they'll make new rules for you traveling anyway.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They're not Rich Parsons. Rich, as in if you got money, they make your own. But
I meant Rich Parsons, actually.
Okay, yeah. Rich. Well, listen, I tell you what. Let me tell you about Rich Parsons. Now, listen to me very closely, everybody. He's the guy. If you want something to go wrong on your trip and you want to see it, bring Rich, because it'll happen to him.
Yep.
Everything. He always had the last meal. We ran out of stuff. We did this, that, and the other. Every time it came, it was always Rich. Now, it wasn't Rich's doing. You're like, hey, we're gonna run. I remember the one with the knives. I put Rich in front of me because we ran out of knives. I just didn't get one. It's no big deal because we were all picking up pocket knives. I'm like, all right, I knew what's gonna happen. Rich was standing behind me, and I'm like, no, you need to get in front of me. And it happened exactly. Then if I would say, well, you can take it. I don't want to take it. I'm pissed off. This sucks. Because it kept happening to Rich every single time.
Anytime I go through security, sir, please step over there.
Every time. Every time.
That's because they're so handsome, they want to interact with you.
Yes, you're guapo.
Guapo, yes.
Guapo.
I used to get some of that, at least traveling, back when I had the long, stringy blonde hair, and dressed kind of, very comfortably.
Yes.
There you go. So, first of all, I want to tell you something. People don't see, when you have luggage, okay, when you're packing stuff, I check everything. I'm telling you what works for me. The bag should be no less than 30 inches long. Sticks are 28. You can put them in a 26-inch bag, but then you got to do diagonally, and it'll take up a lot more real estate because most of the luggage has those tracks for the handles. So you put stick bag. You want at least a 30-inch bag.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of the hard shell bags. The stuff I have always has that Cordura type material. What's another stuff they talk with the tack vest?
Ripstop.
Yeah, ripstop type material, stuff like that. Gordo. Here we go. Gordo. Oh, Gordo, as opposed to Guapo.
Gordo is fat.
Are you calling Rich fat?
I don't think he's called Rich fat.
Okay, he's calling himself fat. Okay.
I hope, yes. Oh, no, and Joe's doing good these days.
No, Joe's a bastard. He's skinnier than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I hate you, Joe. I like you, Joe, but I hate you. I have to hate you for that. I've got belly envy at the moment. Nice package. He must have been in line behind me after the TSA patted me down.
Behind you? Was that maybe were you?
I don't want to know. Let's not go down that path. Let's just let Roden be Roden, and we'll go from there.
There you go.
Corduri. Yeah.
Cordura. Yeah. Corduroy is the old pants that we used to wear in the 70s, 80s.
Remy's wife used to make stick bags out of that. I had a stick bag. I'm like, this looks like a pair of pants. Shh, Tim, don't tell you anybody. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yep.
Gray corduroy pants. That's what I had, or stick bag.
Mm-hmm.
So, I make sure everything's tight. Okay, so if you're taking your gear, I just don't throw stuff in the bag. Like if I have a stick bag, and I have sticks, because I bring my own sticks to the Philippines. Because here's the thing about the Philippines: if you're going there, they'll put a lacquer on it, and the stuff never dries. It's too humid over there. It will tear your hands up, and then they'll say you're a wuss because you get blisters. It's not us; it's the sticks. Trust me. Been doing this for 30 plus years, and then I use their sticks for about 15 minutes, and I get blisters popping up. No, it's not me. It's the stuff. So, or you take a hunk of electrical tape and tape up your sticks before you start using them. I had to roll them in the dirt to pick it up because it was just so damn sticky. That was it. Cordura Fabric. Damn autocorrect. Yep. And then he was 285 at one point. Yep. Tell him the sticks are an Amish fishing pole. Okay, so here's what I've been told in the past. Let me talk about that fishing pole thing at the moment. So if you're doing stabs, you can get fishing pole cases, hard shell cases. Now, what I was told, because I knew a lot of competitors back in the day, if they said it was a martial art, if they said it was a bow, a staff, the extra fee was significantly more. If they said it was fishing equipment, they didn't get tagged with too much extra fees. I don't know if that's still in place anymore, but it's something you might want to look into or check out. But I have everything wrapped up in a bag. So when we brought all that stuff home, we also brought 100 stick bags with us.
Yeah.
And I put everything in a stick bag. Everything was wrapped in paper. Now that's bringing merchandise back home from the Philippines.
Yep.
But everyday travel, I wouldn't leave stuff floating around in your bag.
Well, just to finish on the merchandise, what I ended up having them do, they had a wrapping station. You could do a plastic wrap that wrapped it all in a bundle, and that actually helped when they changed it into Japan.
Well, let's talk about that.
But they have to be able to get in for some other ones.
Well, okay. Let's talk about taking stuff home from the Philippines, because that's a whole nother animal. We'll give you our secret on getting through fast, remembering it could change.
Let me go first.
Cool. Yeah.
I've seen drumsticks, flutes on planes. Yeah. Okay. And then,
is that your secret, though, Rich? Have you go first?
Hole.
Yes, then everybody else goes right through.
Super easy. Okay.
Yeah. Let me go first. Exactly. He didn't mean let's have Rich talk first. He's the first in line, and when they catch somebody, the rest of us get through.
There you go.
He was the sacrificial lamb. Actually, I was behind him going.
This guy. Yes. Wait. There we go. That guy.
Yep, there you go. So, listen. Oh, you bastard! I saw that. Listen, the only thing. Okay, here's the only thing I've ever had a problem with in the States, flying in the States. I went to a seminar. A friend of mine had a guy who was allegedly former SAS teaching a seminar. Tim Murray was hosting it. I flew out to Chicago. I had a bag of swords. Bolos, because I was from the Philippines, right? Go out there, do the seminar, sold a bunch, came back. They go, sir, you've been flagged for a random check. Is there a problem with that? No, by all means, here, take the bag. Standing there, cop shows up. Standing there. This is before TSA. This was like 96, 97. 2 more cops show up. Or Chicago O'Hare. 3 more cops show up. I think every cop in Chicago O'Hare showed up. Well, what I had in there, so my roommate at the time, Tony, he is a phenomenal garage sailor. And he picked up, for those who remember, Crossman BB guns used to make a dart gun that was in the shape of a 1911.
Mm-hmm.
All the innards were gone. It was electrical taped together. But at the time, anything in the shape of a pistol, a firearm, needs to be locked and declared in a separate box.
Mm-hmm.
So the cops are talking. This guy next to me goes, "That's not a real gun in there." Gun? Oh shit! What? I'm coming from a seminar, and I told him the guy the story. I'm like, "Oh yeah, that, okay, all right, we can deal with." And then in the meantime, the guy goes, "What about the swords? 15 swords. What about the swords? Oh, that's not a problem. The gun's the problem." They pull it out. I'm like, "I am so sorry. My friend bought it for $2 and gave it to me." He goes, we need to have it as separate lock blocks. Take it, throw it out. I don't care. I don't care. Throw it out. Years later, Nene Tortal was teaching at my school. We had a birthday party for him. He's dressed paramilitary. He's got his little Glock and everything. It was a plastic toy gun, but that toy gun needed to be locked. I don't know how he carried it, because it should have been confiscated. If he would have gotten scanned, even a toy gun, anything, a wooden gun, anything that looks like a pistol needs to be in a separate box, locked and declared.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be any of the stuff that we carry. We're talking about the regulations at the moment and how we do stuff. So once again, be aware of the rules.
I was out in California in '88, and we're getting on the plane, my check bag. And the guy was going tap, tap, tap to the guy next to him, points at the screen. Next thing you know, there's 3 guys behind me and 4 guys additional more. So it's about 7, 8 guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like looking at it, going back and forth. And I said, hey, there's an alarm clock, there's a hair dryer, there's a shaving kit, and then there's a redwood pine cone. And the guy goes, the pine cone. That explains it all.
Okay.
And so I said, and they open it up, pull it up, have me open it, and they check all the components. They're like, yeah, the way everything lined up, you had the razor blades up behind the pine cone. You had a coil and a clock.
Oh, right. Nice.
So I was like, no, I just traveled, and this is the electronics that I didn't want to disappear with the.
Wait a second. Did you just tell people how to describe why they have that shape in their thing and then walk through?
I didn't. There was a complete check and visual check and standard.
Yep.
So they verified every piece.
Good. Okay.
So I'm coming back from the Rev Gear show, and I was carrying, and the nice thing is when you go to a lot of these trade shows and business shows, vendors will sell stuff off cheap because they took it on site and they don't want to take it home. Right. So Rev Gear made this focus, this target. It's a head. It's a gray head. It looks like the arbiter, or no, the architect from Prometheus. The pilot,
Yeah.
So it's got a metal rod in there that you hold, but you put the head up and you punch the shit out of the head and you move it around. So I'm going, okay, I know, and I'm taking a carry-on, and I go, this is not going to be a problem. This will not be a problem. But they're going to pull me over. So, and 2 stories on TSA. So I walk up, the guy goes, sir, can I look at the bag after he scanned it? I go, okay, sure, no problem. But before I open this up, I just want to let you know, the thing that looks like a head in there, it's a head. I go, what? I go, nice. I'm coming from a martial art seminar. They're selling targets that look like a head. It's a punching bag thing. Okay, opens up, pulls it out. I go, and he goes, okay, it's that metal handle in there. And I go, best story of the day? Best story of the day. Coming back, we just bombed Afghanistan. I didn't even know we were bombing Afghanistan after September 11th. I went to see Ernesto. So he was in Reno, and was going to also be in Lake Tahoe. We decided to come a day home early. We went to the seminar with Ernesto. Then we shot out to the Praces kids' house, and then came back. We make the arrangements to come home a day early. We didn't see the news. There's National Guard everywhere. Now Ernesto was there. I always bought a bunch of stuff from Ernesto. So, lost tie.
Was it something we did?
I think it's something you said.
He didn't want to be seen looking for redwood.
He doesn't like us, so. The woman says, "Hey, can I check out the bag?" I go, "Sure." But before I open the bag, I go, oh wait,
Let
there's
me tell you what's inside.
BRB. What's BRB?
Be right back.
Oh, okay. All right. So Ty was taking a break. Okay, that's all right. Because sometimes I take my bathroom break myself, so I'm down with that. So I go, before I open this bag, there's a bunch of. I'm coming back with a martial arts seminar, so there's a bunch of stuff in there that might just not look kind of normal. And she goes, honey, this is Reno. There ain't nothing in that damn bag that I haven't seen before. So open up the bag. Yeah, this is all good. I didn't have any steel, but I had Kamagong. I had I had a lot. I had like a bunch of dulos, and the dulos. Some were double-ended, normal round. Others actually looked like horns.
Yep.
As we've seen the Carabao ones now, they've gone from the round to the horn ones. Yes, it looks just like me normally. Here we go. Let's see. Let's get caught up here. You know the rules, so I do. We're not strangers to love. Never go, let you go. Okay, he's just doing songs again. It's your hemorrhoid pinecone. Tell them. Okay. Ha ha ha. I heard nothing. I have one of those. Okay. And then what do you think about the PC 9 heads in a duffel bag? I had one me normally. Okay. I had one head in a duffel bag, so and it was a duffel bag. I have carried and okay, and here, listen. My friends have told me a whole bunch of horror stories about leaving knives in bags and finding them. I flew out of Buffalo. I was wondering where my one knife disappeared to. It was in my carry-on piece of luggage.
And they'll find it for you.
They found it.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Here's I want you to listen. And maybe, okay, maybe it's white privilege. Maybe the TSA agents aren't the jerks that everyone makes them out to be. It's just people do stupid stuff and they hear it all day long. And I've seen stuff. I've seen it firsthand where people know what the rules are, break the rules. And I mean, they're a bunch of Karens and they cry foul. Mm-hmm. I also know there's a bunch of TSA people out there that are morons. So I'm gonna cover both sides of that equation. Okay. Why are you checking that old lady? She's not going to smuggle. Are you kidding? That's the best kind of mule. The people that you're not looking at. Oh, or is the fact that you're bitching because you know that's the mule because it's your stuff in there, but whatever. So I've had so it's the knife I carry. It pisses me off because they don't make the knife anymore. I have several of them, and the woman offered me, would you like to go out to your car and put it back? Now are you sure we can work it bending over backwards so I can take my knife and bring it home? But I can't go out. I mean, with the time I have allotted, I don't want to miss my plan. I go dispose of it, put it in your collection, do it. It's my stupid mistake. Now I've heard other people say, "Oh, I got this, that, and the other thing." Craig Mason, who's here, the Canadian, and probably gets the pass because he's Canadian. We're in the Philippines. He had a knife in his bag. Okay. They didn't arrest him. They would have arrested me, but they didn't arrest Rich. We wouldn't see Rich right now if it was him. Because if it's going to happen to someone, it's going to be Rich. But the funny thing was, they wouldn't let us take tape in on the one plane. Because you can handcuff people together. We had the clear hockey tape, and that
was strange. Yes,
very strange.
Tim, I was flying back from Phoenix for work, and I'd forgot my knife in my bag as well, my backpack and the carry-on, and I actually got to the gate with it somehow, and they did a check there, and they were like, "Oh no, you got to go, and we're throwing this away, or you're going away." And I just said, "No, I'll just go check it."
Right.
And they brought over others, and I started talking with the guys, and I said, that's a Spyderco, that's an Emerson knockoff, that's this, that's that. And I said, this is this type of blade. This is why I have it. So it's a serrated edge for this. It's a Tato tip for cutting open the inside of a car door to mechanically open it up if I'm in it, because we're working on test cars and closed tracks. Mm-hmm. And the serrated edge was to cut the seat belt and so forth. And I said, I just forgot it was in the bag. The old sergeant looked at me and he went, yeah, you're absolutely right. We carry them. We don't use them, but for tools for exactly what you described. So he went and commandeered a cart, drove me back to the front, and we checked my backpack. And that was the end of it. So
when dealing with TSA or the equivalent thereof, everyone remember the basics. They're doing their job.
Yeah.
It's not a personal thing. They're doing their job. You know, it's like when you get pulled over for speeding. Damn cop. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you shouldn't have been speeding. And a lot of times, if you acknowledge them, they'll let you go. Sometimes not. Maybe they got a hard on for you. But the thing is, they pulled you over for speeding and you know where you were speeding. Why are you giving them a hard time? You know you did the crime. You just pulled me over because I'm this. You just pulled me over because I'm that. You're just jealous because I got a better car than you. Doesn't matter. You were speeding, and they can throw extra shit on there. My dad was a trooper. I know. So TSA is just trying to do their job, and they deal with a bunch of, I don't know why it's Karen, but they're dealing with a bunch of Karens all day long, you know, and then they get people like us who are trying to follow the protocol. And then maybe by the time we get to them, they're so frustrated from all these other people, they take it out on us. Right. Let me see here. The head checker from Rev Gear bought one. Yep. Okay. What do you think about Joe Pesci 9 heads? Yeah, Joe Pesci. Okay. For me, 125 down long bottle, too much fluid. Yep. Hey, it's the backup. Okay. How was your Medusa show there? You know, I was gonna complain about his show. They're talking about the Medusa system. And the guy goes, makes a comment. He goes, yeah, if you're doing reverse grip, everyone owes something to James Keating for that. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I've seen reverse grip back when I was a kid. I was doing back grip knife work long before ever hearing of who the hell James Keating was. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. What about love cuffs? I don't know, and I don't want to know. Never mind. Next topic, Alvin. Great topic. I'll have to tune in from the beginning later. Grandmaster Unyo. Hey, listen, when are you going to be on our show? As I'm waiting. And you remember, actually, he knows all three of us. There we go. Okay, here we go. So, good day, guys. Nice to see all of you again. Your live poo guy, Datu Tim, PG Ty, and Sir Rich. God bless. Thank you, nice. Sir. But when are you going to be on our show? When will you let us give us the honor of being on the show? And by all means, if there's ever for anyone in the Philippines, if you want to bring someone on with you to help with translations because I speak too fast and other stuff, by all means, let's get some people involved with this. I'm glad the show went well, Dean. He's, you know, we're going to be merging brands, by the way. It's going to be FMA Talk Discussion. It's like both staff, but different.
I'm joking. We're going to talk about the FMA discussion, and we're going to discuss about the FMA Talk.
Yes, there we go. We're going to keep the brands separate. There you go. Just there's a lot of cross pollination. I wear snap pants. TSA pop them off like a party boy from Jack. Okay, never mind. Hey, Lex. Lex has got an event coming up this August. Unfortunately, I'll be in Europe. I mean, not unfortunately. I'm glad I'll be in Europe, but I really want to go to Lex event. Dean, LOL.
Magandang gabi, Sir Lex.
So, let me see here. So, I mean, like I said, it's not real. There's not much to talk about this. Check with the rules. Listen, if you're carrying firearms, that is beyond. I don't even care if any of us or all of us have experience with that. I'm going to make it real simple. We're not going to talk about that.
There you go.
Okay? things change all the time. If you want to carry firearms on a plane, do the research. I'm not taking any responsibility on that.
That's right.
Anything
Thing is just say do the research,
do
find
the
out
research.
what's required by law.
Yep, we are not gonna. All I know is something that looked like a firearm that had no functionality had to be declared and locked in a separate box. So if a toy gun had to be done, I can just imagine with a real one. And Michael Harone tells the story. I actually gave him a stick bag because he puts all of his sticks in a sniper bag, and he entered the airport, and they go, stop where you're standing, put the bag down, take 4 steps back.
Right.
I'm like, what? And then I had a extra Ronin bag, and I gave him the Ronin. Oh, this is a great bag. Yeah, you don't get pulled over by the airport police anymore, do you? No, not at all. Go figure.
Nice.
Okay. He goes, hi, everyone. And Dean says, LOL. And new show name, Taiwan On with PG Ty and Dean Franco.
Ah, there we go. Dean can replace you on your own show then.
Screw both of you. Screw all 3 of you. Oh, Renee, Renee's Dean and I and Renee will be on a show later this week. That's it. It's all about the Canuck. Trust me. Just remember, hey, Renee, just remember, if I bump you off, I do a third less time because of the exchange rate. Okay. I would, like I said, put it in a good bag. Nathan Porter thinks that's funny. Put it in a good bag, and 30 inches ish, maybe more. Oh, and here's the other thing: know your weight restrictions. Pretty much everywhere you go, it's 50 pounds. So when we come back from the Philippines, if you're overweight, it's $100. I pay the $100 because I'm usually bringing 100 items back. That adds $1 to the price of each one of those. I can deal with that. I have several stories on carrying firearms, flying, and doing everything per se, the airlines in the South, and very little problem. But in the Northeast, very troubled time. Yeah, yep, trouble every time. Because a lot of people just don't know, tape the sticks like the kids' legs. Health. Okay, all right. Their braces, nice. Nice. Yeah, I mean, like I said, make sure, just put everything in a bag. I mean, make it real simple.
So one of the things I did was I packed everything in my 32-inch suitcase, and I took the next size up and put the suitcase in that. Yeah. So when I went over, I had 2 coming back.
Yeah. Well, and right now we're just talking domestic. We're going to talk about the Philippines next, because that's going to be how do you get stuff back from the Philippines?
Yeah, right. So domestic, soft bag, as you said, wrapped with paper, taped up. If it's not easily accessible, is what they've always told me whenever they've searched me or checked me.
Right.
I had my pocket knife. I had it along the seam in a sock, in the little sock pocket, and they were like, "Why is it in a sock taped up?" I said, "I didn't want it open, and I knew exactly where it was." And they said, "So you could find it easy." And I went, "No, so that it didn't get kicked around, moved around, open up by accident, and start possibly damaging the clothes or the bag." And 3 out of the 4 people there agreed and shook their head like Ty just did and said, "Yeah, that's very reasonable and sound." But
right.
So I've also put them in a sock and then in a shoe so that, it's a little bit less likely to even open up there. Right. So.
Okay. Coming home from the Philippines. Let's talk about that. So Listen, here's the thing. When you go to the Philippines, first of all, remember, pack light, travel heavy. Leave light, travel heavy. All right, let's do this here. Matt Jones, hello all. I've taken a mask on board before with no troubles, but I heard having issues with it. Okay. Mask? I've taken my mask. Oh, you're fencing mask. Okay, yeah. Dog brother style fighting. There we go. Boom. Duh. Renee, go. I like it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what you got a couple things. I've done the exact same thing Rich has done. So if you're going to the Philippines and you're looking to bring a bunch of stuff back, first of all, most of the places you can get someone to do your laundry, so you don't need to, and it's cheap. It's really cheap to have your laundry done over there. What I'll do is, depending on where I'm staying, a lot of the places you might have to get a deposit for your towels, depending like where we were at. But I like bringing a microfiber towel because they're really lightweight. They do a good job, and just in some places you want to have your own towel as a backup. Or you can pretty much buy anything you need in the Philippines. There's places all over the place and you can get it cheap. What we have done is pack 2 bags in one and then have a secondary bag. Or the other option is we buy bags while we're there.
Right.
You know, I mean, and we can get decent bags for like $40, $50. I'm not afraid of the $100 fee, but I have a scale. So I do the ballast so they're as close as possible. And whatever my carry-on, I pack that up heavy. You know, so I usually have, when I go there, because of a short connection in Poland, or flying to Poland once, I was out of clothes for 3 days. So it changed the way I pack. So I make sure you can carry sharp razors on the plane, cartridge razors, or what I'll just do is I'll pack an electric razor. And the rest of my stuff's I'll pack a razor, travel size, deodorant. I've got these travel bottles because I carry my own shampoo and stuff. So I'll have one of everything in there. You know, it's all set. But that bag will be pretty lean. It'll just have like an extra day of clothes in there. And that way I can pack a whole bunch of other shit on the way back. What are you laughing about?
Matt Jones.
Okay. OMG, guys. Please don't talk like the guy in the middle because his hair is too damn long. Ha ha ha. Well, you're on I don't know if it's that long. Just kidding. Okay. We know you're kidding. So where am I at? I am very down with picking up luggage there. Yep. Putting tags on it. But when it comes time, remember, it is only $100 fee for overweight. So if you're going to do it, make sure it's worth it. Don't do a little. I mean, go all in, maybe buy a level next time. Listen, my stuff is fine. Yeah, my stuff is fine. It's my camera's crooked. It's not my window. He's a bad.
Nice.
Renee sucks. When your daughter's old enough, I'm going to walk up to her and give her a complex to say, give your real dad a hug. And then she'll totally mess with her. Totally mess with her. Then you got to pay therapy. Screw you. And the Canadian, they still, even with their health care, they're not going to pay for that. So, what we found is if you go, there's a bunch of guys outside that'll get you in the airport fast. They'll wrap your bags in plastic so no one will open it up. And you get past the metal detector. So when we first walked in with the metal detector, they go, wah, 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 and they look, they go, Arnice. And then they take us. And yes, in the Philippines, Arnice. not Eskrima, not Kali, our niece. They take us over. They'll put a strap around it saying, now they don't care. It's no longer, it's not that issue anymore. But the guys that'll be out there have a bunch of 50s pesos. That's $1. Okay, maybe a bunch of hundreds. That's $2. There'll be 4 or 5 guys there. Each give them one, whatever. They'll charge. I think it's like 1,500 pesos to wrap the bag and get you through the door. Yep. So there's an accelerated entrance to get us through the door. There's a bunch of guys. Don't give one guy the tip. Give them all a little something, because they'll bitch about that and they'll pester you afterwards. And that's it. I mean, there's really not much. I mean, guys, what are you thinking? Anything I left out on that?
No.
Yeah.
I have a personal quirk where I don't use the locks, but I do use a key ring. It's, anybody can get into it. All it does is it stops the zippers from opening up while it's being moved.
Right. Yeah, I don't use TSA locks myself.
I mean, just make sure your stuff is tight.
Yep.
I make sure. Okay, so if you're flying and you're bringing the weapons back, they'll have newspapers in the lobby of the hotels. They'll get that. Go to the grocery store or a drugstore and get Scotch tape.
Yep.
A lot of guys, we get stuff because we'll buy bulk. They'll wrap that stuff for us ahead of time. But if not, we can wrap it ourselves. And like I said, buy stick bags. Like if you go to Quiapo, there's a place you can get dirt cheap. But I put everything in the stick bag, I lock it up, wrap it all up, boom, done.
Yeah, the only time it didn't happen to me on that trip was when we landed in Toronto. My bag was found. Tim's wasn't. We had to go over to the special area.
It was heavy though, I think.
Yeah.
Now I usually fly out of Toronto, but I may not this time because it's $100 difference, which means I can get a ride to the airport. I don't have to pay for 2 weeks of parking.
Yeah.
I don't have to, and for me, that's a 4-hour round trip with tolls, gas, and worrying about the safety of my vehicle for 2 weeks, and then worry about losing my keys for 2 weeks. So there is definitely a benefit of leaving my home, but here's the benefit of going for me going through Toronto. It's a foreign country, and I don't have to clear a damn thing when I fly back because I'm not staying in said country.
Yeah.
So I go, anything to declare? No, because everything's coming home to Buffalo with me. Rich has done the same thing.
Yeah.
Come across the border. We're just Americans coming across the Canadian border. Anything to declare? Nope. Have a nice day.
And then I drove around the lakes in the U.S. to get back to Michigan.
Yeah. Now, and Rich, Rich, he's the guy who's going to have a problem at the border. He tells us stories about it all the time. And we're not going to, now it's different that his hair is grayer these days, but when it was darker, he looked like Mustafa. So he'll tell you this. I mean, we've had this conversation, where he's just unique enough to say, you look strange and look out of place.
Yeah.
And the thing here is listen, people have in mind what the perceived enemy is. They do racial profiling. There's no question that they don't. I hit the border. I go, this car, that car, and the other car are going to get pulled over. 9 times out of 10, they get pulled over. I do the border. First of all, I have the Nexus Pass, which gets me over quicker. Yes, sir. No, sir. I know what to say. Rich, you got your Nexus Pass?
Yep.
Retinal
scan.
Yeah. We're TSA pre-approved. There's another thing there. I mean, so we get quicker lanes to go through where they ask different things. There's a whole bunch of little tricks. Okay. But listen, I play Father Tim's card. I wear that turtleneck and I wear my cross.
Yeah, don't wear one of Tim's shirts that has the sword on the chest.
No. Rich, we can. Okay, so listen, Rich, how tall are you?
6'3".
Okay. Rich is a big boy. You see this big old boy wearing a sword on his shirt. Like, shit, he might be a Viking. I don't know. Now, when I wear something like, I mean, I'm only 5'10", you know. I can wear whatever the hell I want. I mean, not anything. I don't wear a kilt regimental. That would be the tie, but that's another story. Right. But yeah, I mean, part of it's all about presentation, you know. And like I said, I got a lot of people, you know, like it's yes sir, no sir. Say what you need to. Don't tell them stuff. You know, when I used to fill out the paperwork, it was simple. I'm a teacher. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. You know, I didn't say anything about martial arts. I'm a teacher. That's my job. I'm a teacher. I actually work for the school systems as well. So, but I don't need to tell them that, you know, you tell them what they need to know, not what you know, don't tell them all this extra stuff. It's, you know, don't ask, don't tell. It's like the military, but different. You know, and there's nothing wrong with what we're doing because it's fine. It's locked away. It's sealed away. We don't have access.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm bringing souvenirs back. Okay, great. How much is the value? You know what? You bought it in pesos. Probably not much. When I come back from Canada, how much are you spending? I do the math in US dollars. So right now it's close to 40%, which is crazy. Craig was telling me that. So if I bought something for $100 in Canada, it's $60 US. Okay. Yeah. You know, so they're looking for a certain amount based on how long you've been away.
Yeah.
And I you know, and it just, you know, and you know, and actually now it's done with a kiosk. They'll ask you, is it less than this? Did you do this? You hit the button, boom, done. You know, but they don't even ask what's in the bag anymore. Right. At one time they did. They don't, you know. So when I go next, I'm going to be going once by myself before the crew goes. And that one I might just fly out of Buffalo because of convenience.
Yeah.
The only downside is sooner or later I'm gonna have to declare it. But then again, I've got the speed lane stuff. I got the Nexus Pass, which if things are people are thinking about doing this, this would be a fun one. I would get all that stuff ahead of time, way ahead of time, because it's a long wait. Jeff Leader, Dr. Leader, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, Dr. Jeff?
Any tips going through any tips on getting through Canadian border control in a van filled with enough rattan sticks to take over their entire country? He knows that because we did that.
Right.
Then there was some other stuff with that too. He's in the van. Somehow they lined up on the passenger side of the vehicle, not the driver. Coming back from Michigan summer camp. Citizenship, American. North America, South America. Oh, I'm sorry. We're U.S. citizens.
There you go.
But I will say this. We're the only country with America in the name. There's South America. That's not one country. But I get it. We're Americans too. No, you're Canadian. Shut up. And I can say that now because I'm not at the border. Once I'm at the border, yes, sir, no, sir. Okay. Did Datu Tim have pet peeves this time? Hopefully not. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, figure out your baggage situation. Pack light. Come home heavy. Get your clothes washed over there.
Right.
Pay the guys to get you through the line. Worth that. Well worth the couple hundred pesos. Oh my God, a couple hundred pesos. That'll be like $3. Like, you know, so every 100 pesos is $2 US, more or less. Okay. I'll give them 1,000 pesos, $10 to get through the line. Well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's like $1,500 for the service, which they wrap the bag and and they get you through. And then make sure you have extra pesos to give people when you're done. Make sure everything's wrapped tight. But I mean, usually, actually, I have yet to have anyone crack that bag open after we had it wrapped.
Right.
And it gets to the destination exactly the way it was. Now, the good thing is I fly Delta, I get Sky Priority. You know, and if I get the upgraded I don't buy first class, I get upgraded. If I get upgraded, they throw that Sky Priority pass on there. So I'm like, yay. So I'm not saying fly Delta because we also fly Philippine Airlines. They do pretty good. I don't know, Rich, what do you got for us? Anything? Do you think we missed anything?
Know what's legal in your final destination port as well. Because if you're bringing back something that's illegal for your state to own, you're going through that port of entry. That's a major point there too.
And on that note, remember, when you're going from state to state or country to country, it doesn't matter if marijuana is legal at home.
Right.
That's not federal. And it's definitely, like, when you go to Barbados, drug crimes, you go away for life. They take that shit really, really serious. And Duarte, when he was in office, wasn't he killing people for drug offenses?
Yeah.
I mean, him not personally, but it was a death sentence type thing.
Yeah, well, in Malaysia, when I was living there, it was drugs. They had commercials, drugs equals death. It was punishable by death.
You cannot cry foul when you go to a country and the rules are known and you don't do your research.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. I remember that kid that did that vandalization. They were going to spank him with the Singapore. Yeah, it was in Singapore. They were going to hit him with basically a rattan cane.
Yeah, but it's split rattan cane that's wet, so it does totally different things than just a regular stick. It helps split the skin.
Yep. Shit, I would have told him to fly me over, and I'll smack the kid around because it made us look bad. I mean, hey, as a penance, I will beat the crap out of the kid, you know, because it makes us look bad, you know. And that's the thing, you know, understand all the repercussion of your action, but that's a travel thing in general. Mm-hmm. But know the law. Ty, what do you got for us?
I don't think I have anything else. I'm looking forward to seeing folks in a week and a half-ish. Okay. Plus.
Yep. Yeah, so on not this weekend, but the following weekend is the World Modern East Alliance training camp. It'll be May 5, 6, 7. We've got we got a bunch of the board members. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Hold on. I'll pull this up. Okay. And next week we're going to talk about stuff like this as well. Let me see. Where's my thing? It's taking forever. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Boom, boom. So we have. I'm going to go left to right. Myself, Datu Tim, PG Ty, PG Chad, PG Craig, Gurus May and Mike Williams. In addition to them, we are going to have Dominic Violante. He's going to be doing cane work.
Yep.
He does Kempo with an M and Aikido, and he also does a lot of he's certified to do active shooter training. He's got a law enforcement background, spot on guy, great guy. We also have Mike Perry, who is the COO of Maya. So he is a phenomenal businessman for martial arts, as well as an accomplished martial artist, master level in martial arts. And one of the things, the nice thing about they talk about Maya, they don't push it in their training events. Like we go for martial business because that's what we need our help on. We're all martial artists. But they're always telling you, don't stop training. You need to continue training. You need to make sure that your product is as good as it can be. And no one told Craig he needed sticks for the pick. You're right. Let's go back to that just because we can. So everyone's like, what are you talking about? Well, you guys didn't look. So Renee noticed it.
Mhm.
Well, come on. He's Canadian. They don't allow weapons in Canada, so he can't take a photo because there are no sticks up there.
Those are his ninja invisible sticks.
Invisible sticks. There we go. They're actually, since it's Canada, it's candy cane sticks. So it would look kind of silly if we had that. So I just said you have to, pretend like you can punch.
And if you look at Gurume's picture, you can see her using a stick that's representative of what her family style trains.
And she's going to be presenting. Mike and May will be they're very talented modern East practitioners, but they're also CLOT practitioners, very, very established CLOT people, and we're going to have them focus on that. We're actually working on. We have evidently Mike has CLOT modules that we're going to be introducing into the organization.
Oh, nice.
And the thing here is, listen, you might see me do CLOT. I'm not going to be teaching CLOT. I might teach a couple moves when I'm out and about and doing stuff. But the thing here is I'm going to send everyone to Mike and May because they know they are the ones that are in charge of that division. Okay. Or hockey sticks. Okay. Yeah, it could have been that. It could have been. So there's really no event going on between now and the camp. So May 5, 6, 7 is the camp. May 4th, May the 4th be with you, is the pre-conference. From 9 to noon, there is a Maya classes, business lessons. That one, it's $99 if you have a school or just you, it's $99 for you. If you're bringing a student or something, it's an additional $50 per staff member. That is not part of the camp. Although Saturday during the lunch break, Mike will be making a presentation to us, and he'll be there the whole time. Well, he's got to leave Saturday night, but he gets in Wednesday night, so he'll be around. You can pick his brain. I highly recommend for those who want to take the business aspect of what you do. Maya is one of the best out there at what they do. Alice, yep, it's called Alice. He is, yep. That Alice is the program that. So Dominic was through Alice. I'm not sure what his current status is, and I'm not going to speak about it because I don't know if he's still with them or not. Alice is the program that the FBI modeled their program after. So, but he was a trainer in that, and actually can certify people in a program to offer active shooter programs, defense against active shooter programs. Just so we know what I'm saying, because the one time we put in that, it actually sounded out like you're teaching people to become ones. No. Well, then you might want to reword the stuff here. Like, okay, all right, good point. Yeah. So, no, we're gonna have a good time. Rich, you got anything coming up that we need to know about that we didn't mention?
Nope. I might sneak out, but can't promise.
Okay,
That'd be great.
I
got a big giant hug for you if you do.
Miss those.
Oh, Steve, enjoyed the show. I learned a good deal tonight, even though he was a little distracted. It's okay. Okay, here we go.
Kiss my grits.
Okay. Wasn't that
Nobody
Flo?
remembers that show.
That was Flo, I thought.
Yeah, but it was on the show, Alice.
I know. Just for the record, though, so we're all on the same page. It was Flo. I gotta change this. So next week's show is going to be about upcoming events that we have, so people know what's going on, as well as, and more importantly, some tips on hosting events. It will not be a full how-to guide, but things that you want to think about just in general. I'm having some challenges right now because the hotel industry changed since COVID. And it's not changing back, and that's annoying the hell out of me.
Well, the other thing is I guess this is sort of the other half of, hey, when you are being hosted, remember we had that talk about, how to be a good guest presenter, that kind of good stuff. So this is the other half of that.
Yeah. So, well, that's about it. Rich, thanks for tagging in tonight. And it's actually perfect because all three of us, not only do all three of us fly with this stuff, we've also been on trips together, so we do know that Rich's stories are not bullshit. He does get pulled over for every little thing.
That's right.
If something's going to go wrong, I bring Rich, because usually it does go wrong to me. But to make sure it doesn't happen, I grab Rich.
Good luck, Charles.
Yeah, can't complain. Really nothing to say about that. So, good talk. Great rest of your evening. All right, so everyone, it's always a pleasure. You know, I want to sit there and thank everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate the viewership and the interaction, as we do get a fair amount of interaction on the show, and I do, and it makes it. It's better than just us talking at you guys. Let's see, a good show, good weekend.
And your
Night, Jensen Tim. I knew that was coming.
there you go.
So,
Well, Roden said, you know, hello, gents and Rich.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
We did.
nice.
Okay. So it's always a pleasure. So so this is Datu Tim and
Rich Parsons.
Peachy Tag.
saying thank you all. Stay safe and stay sane.
Thank you, guys.